you getting on? And welcome on into the How You Getting On podcast. And I'm joined by the man, the myth, the legend. He's wearing a hat, says 11 degrees on it. Fancy old hat there. Genesis, how are you getting on today?
Not too bad, pal. How are you getting on?
I'm getting on very, very, very well. So I see you slurping on a pint of soup there, Guinness. Gotta ask you, Jenny, do you not feel like it's a bit heavy, or are you just kind of used to the flavour now?
Yeah, well, at first, like, when you start drinking it, like, when you first start drinking Guinness, it is heavy on your old stomach. But after years and years and years of experience, you finally get to that point where you're like, I'm able for this.
Yeah, I feel like that happens in life, only recently. Now, not to compare it to alcohol or whatever, but I was always heavily against kind of vegetables and eating that kind of stuff, even though I'm vegetarian. I know it doesn't make sense, but I hate vegetables. But only recently, like, I'd have a sandwich or I'd have like a burger or something when I'm out, and I'd appreciate the vegetables more in it. And usually I'd take them out and throw them away. But I don't know if it's just about getting older. I don't know if it's about my palate changing. But like, have you experienced something like that, at least with food, where you like, it's over time you just don't care enough to like change it up that much? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I'm very plain when it comes to food lately. Like, I'm very boring.
Okay.
Like, if I'm getting a chipper, I'm sticking to the same stuff. Chicken fillet burger.
You don't change it up at all.
Like, not recently. I don't know why. It's like,
man.
Yeah, no. Ever since I got fucking sick there from that Chinese there, what was it, not too long ago.
yeah.
I've been very wary about what I eat. Like, so when it comes to like chippers, like I try and stick to what I know is best kind of way. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I get you. Only recently, man. See, I'm literally the opposite. Recently, I've changed my Chinese routine. I used to go for the 3-in-1 or the curry and chips, depending on where you're from. Curry, chips, and rice, whatever. That'd be my go-to. But man, recently I've discovered a Thai red curry, and man, it's just so top tier. I don't even know what to say, man. Have you ever like even thought about trying something different?
Yeah, like, I used to be a fucking whore for like, mixing and matching everything. Like I used to love mixing and matching, like,
Yeah.
And but that's what caused me to get to the point of where I ordered something one night, like, and I literally couldn't get off the toilet for 3 days, like. So
yeah, that's the thing.
I thought to myself, better to go back safe than sorry kind of job.
Yeah. No, I get where you're coming from. That's the thing. Like, I ordered an Indian only, I think the last night or the night before. And I ordered from it as well a couple of months ago, and I never learned my lesson, but my stomach can't take Indian food at all. But you forget about it. Like, I feel like when you order food, you're not thinking about how you felt the last time you had it. You're thinking about, oh man, I'm starving. You know what I mean? And it gets the better of you, like,
Oh, 100%. Like, that's what I mean. You need to be careful what you eat. Like, I always find though as well, like, if you're not used to eating something, like, and you try something new, like, your body can react to that in grand different ways. Like, you know what I mean?
It's true.
So you need to be a bit wary, like, But no, like, I am, like, if you said to me, listen, I got this, try it, I would. But I'd still be very wary. Like, I can't stand food poisoning. Like,
yeah.
There's no worse feeling in the world than, like, food poisoning is horrible.
It takes you out for a day or two. It really does. But listen, welcome everybody on into the stream. We got a couple of fun topics to talk about today. Me and Genesis were both chatting about it, and we feel like, since it's the end of the month and the first 4 episodes have been released of this podcast, this is obviously episode 4, we want to have a bit of fun with it, and we want to mix it up. We feel like, some of the topics we'll be talking about are very serious and very kind of to the point, but we want some fun topics in here, so we've added in a few ones today that I hope you guys enjoy. Starting off though with the first topic of the day, we're actually going to mix it up here, and we're gonna switch up the kind of schedule that we have. We're going to start with the community question of the week. Now, this was by Sean K over on Twitter. Now, if you guys want to get involved with the question of the week, all you gotta do is follow Howya Podcast over on Twitter, and every Monday or Tuesday we'll put out a tweet and we'll ask you guys what you want to hear about, and the most liked comment will be picked and, of course, get to feature on the podcast. So, as I was saying, Sean K asked us to talk about pretty much Mason Greenwood situation, and we've seen other people commenting as well that wanted to hear about kind of young footballers and their wages and kind of how it can affect them, and I feel like it all ties in. So we'll shout out Sean K there for a great question. Jenny, let's start with a situation. I mean, this came out of completely left field. We were talking about kind of, you know, team of the year and this and that in the last podcast, and you know, kind of players and transfers, and we were going off some basic football topics, but it's not often you hear about something that completely hits the headlines in terms of drama and nearly outside football. For the people who don't know what happened with Mason Greenwood, who currently is a player for Manchester United, Genesis, what happened?
So I tell you, it's a bit mad how it all came about, but apparently, the girl, Mason's missus or whatever, her phone got hacked, apparently, and all these images and videos were leaked out of Mason basically raping and attacking this female. For me, like, it's like, you know, the whole hacker thing, I don't know what story is with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Obviously she was taking pictures and recording herself because it was a more serious matter than it was let on to be. Like, so in a sense, is I don't think there was a hacker. I think it was like done. She was recording all that, so that means this has been going on for a fair while. Like, it's gone over a period of time, because
Yeah.
she's not going to just do that first time kind of thing. You know what I mean? That's clearly not the first time something like that's happened. And she's obviously became accustomed to knowing that it's going to happen again. So she thought, how am I supposed to fix this situation? So she recorded it. Now in the recording, you hear everything, and it is pretty fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's one of these situations where no matter what you say in court, you're not getting over. You know what I mean? The evidence it's just all there. Like, you know, it's just crystal clear.
Yeah, like, for anybody who doesn't know, basically, the whole story started with the whole apparent idea that a hacker got a hold of Mason Greenwood's ex's girlfriend's phone or her files on her PC or whatever, which included some video and sound files of this conversation that was had, where basically they were in the middle of having sex or whatever, and she was saying that she didn't want to get involved in it, and basically Green was kind of being very aggressive and this and that, and it hit public media, and it automatically was kind of deemed that Greenwood was essentially in the mud with the whole topic. It's yeah, I mean, like, just from the situation, like, obviously Genesis, you know, wherever it came from, whether it was a hacker or whether it was leaked on purpose, like, it's a bad situation to be painted in, whether it's right or wrong. I don't know if there's any defending it. Kind of, how do you feel in terms of like you judging the situation?
Oh, for me, like, straight out, like, I think he's an absolute scumbag straight off the rip. Like, there's no excuse.
Yeah.
There, like, there's just, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, you know, you drop the plate on the floor and, you know, just clean it up, I'm sorry, kind of thing. It's not. It's fucked, man, on so many levels, because the fact that the thing that scares me the most about it is the fact that she recorded it all. You know what I mean? So that means that this wasn't the first time. This girl's
Yeah.
been suffering over a period of time. Nobody knows how long yet. We'll obviously find out probably as it goes further into courts and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is obviously going on a very long period of time. Now, in my opinion, on this basic matter of where you can say, people that say, oh well, like, a lot of shit I've seen is like, oh well, he's you know, he was too young and he was thrown into this and he was given loads of money and he was never told no. That's bullshit. That does not use the fact of rape or assault on a girl.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like, where the fuck do you see that? Like, oh, just because you're young and you have loads of money, that means you can go and, you know, just do the most horrible things that you can think of. Like, it's
no,
you know,
it doesn't. And I seen some people commenting on Twitter as well, talking about, you know, how wages affect footballers and kind of how they kind of act in kind of not even in the public eye, but just in general. You know, with football kind of taking a turn 100% over the last, let's say, 10 or so odd years, where player salaries are higher than ever. And, you know, we thought footballers were getting paid a lot before, and now it's crazy, Jenny. I mean, you could be playing in any of these leagues and be on a crazy amount of money, and you can only imagine when you're 16, 17 on this kind of wage that you're gonna have some kind of complex about you, where you think that, like, nothing can touch it and you can do anything. And not defending any of these actions, of course, I'm completely against it. For me to do something like that is an absolute dickhead move, and to be honest, Greenwood should be used to make an example in this situation. That's how I personally feel. I feel like he should be made an example of what not to do. when you're young and when you're on these wages and you think you're this and you're that. He should be made an example of. I'm sorry, it is true. He really should, because you need to teach these young guys coming up that they need respect. They need to respect their managers, respect the people around them, and just learn respect in general. Do you know what I mean? I feel like there's too much of a god complex with these young players, and even, you know, we talked about it before, Jenny, about like with United, how some of the players aren't respecting their managers and respecting the staff and stuff, and it possibly even turns over to that. Kind of, how do you feel about young players and possibly even some of their mindsets, kind of with the current state of football?
So, like, obviously, in a way, a lot of these young lads are coming up, and they're getting so much money that they're just set for life. Like a 2-year contract in football, they're set for life. You know, even if they're on their bench, they're still getting paid mad money.
Yeah,
Um, like, but at the same time, is that no matter what age you are or how young you are, you're like, you know, what I mean, the people around you, the mentors that you have, like Greenwood didn't have any excuse, because look at the people that he was surrounded by, like icons like Ronaldo, so on and so forth.
yeah,
So it's not like, you know, it's not like he's just thrown into a team and it would have made more sense if it was Rashford that came out of this. Because Rashford was like the face of United, all that pressure, so on and so forth. That
yeah.
would have made more sense to me.
Mm,
But Greenwood was a little golden boy, giving everything on a plate. Now, at the same time, is like they're going to, I know how, like I've seen this kind of shit happen before. It's gonna go to court. They're gonna plead like that. He had a bad childhood. He was beaten by his father. You know, he's seen his mother and father beating each other, and you know, all that shit's gonna come out. And I'm
yeah,
calling that straight away, because that's the only defense he's gonna go down. You know what I mean? That's the defense they're gonna go down. But in my opinion, he's had no issues as a kid. Like, he's had a loving family, great childhood the whole way, took care of, bought everything, handed to him on a silver platter,
yeah,
then gets into United Academy, works as well, you know. So everything there is being given to him. So in a sense, has he been given, and when he's told no, he doesn't like that, so that's how he retaliates out. But that's nothing to do with the money aspect of the thing, or being told yes your life. That's literally a psychopath. Like, that's literally someone who has a few screws loose to think that if you say no to me, well then I'm gonna beat you, or I'm gonna rape you, I'm gonna do this. You know, that's next level mentality. That's
yeah,
nothing to do with being a young professional footballer, being in the spotlight, or getting loads of money. It's a totally different range, you know.
yeah.
So
No, I agree with you there, and I'm gonna quote somebody that I know you know very well, is Mr. Spileto Head. He came into my chat when we were talking about it. He literally said, "Look, if you're a cunt, you're a cunt," and as simple as it is, it's true. Like, you're brought up a certain way, and that's how you are. And like you said it yourself, I wasn't trying to defend any of the actions, of course, by footballers or wages or whatever. It was just kind of something that possibly adds to how these guys kind of have a demeanor about themselves, but at the end of the day, you know, you're taught these values from a young age, and you should respect them going into an older age. And
yeah,
definitely with Greenwood, like, it's just, that's something you just don't do. And like, whether you're related to football, wages, or whatever, anything else, it's just something as a person that he, like, it's just something you don't do. You don't need to say it out loud, but you clearly do when there's people like him going around doing shit like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy, but um yeah, it's just such a mad situation. And for a young player like Greenwood as well, and I seen some people in chat as well talking about his ability and stuff, but what a character. I mean, he had such a big career ahead of him. I mean, people were talking about Greenwood, and Foden, I feel like was kind of the big topic of the new young guys in the scene who were able to do bits and possibly take England to the next level, and to shine through, you know, from both players from well, playing for different sides of Manchester. You gotta say, Jenny, I mean, it's talented completely wasted when something comes out like this, and you realize that they're not like a good person behind it all. Their whole career kind of goes down the drain in a way, doesn't it?
That's the thing as well. Like, I was gonna point that out. It's not even just his career's over. His life is over.
Hmm.
Like, his life is done now. Like, he's gone from, you know, the shining star, a young boy at United. You know, everyone looks up to him. All the kids coming up through the generations looking to play football, so on and so forth. But he's no longer just lost his career. His career is least of his concerns. He will never play ball again. Okay, he's more than likely 99.9% going to do heavy time. I'd say 7 plus
Really?
easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be broke as fuck. because every penny he has, they're going to write him for in a lawsuit. Okay,
Mm.
so and even when he does do his time and comes back out, because of how much of a public figure he was and all that kind of carry on,
Yeah.
he's never going to live it down. There's still going to be in 10 years' time, people are going to turn around and go, "Oh, the dirty rapist," and all that's going to happen. That's never going to go away. That'll never leave you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A
It's true.
title like that will never leave you. So no club in the world can afford to have him there because of
The
what he's done
backlash.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So he doesn't deserve anything anymore. Like it's his own fault, in my opinion. Listen, you bit off more than you could chew. You had everything given to you. You were set for life. You had such a good future ahead for the, and you just threw it away over fucking being a prick. Being a scumbag.
Yeah, it's such a mad situation, man. Like what you were saying, they're having such a good talent and being set up with Manchester United, one of the biggest teams in the world, if not the biggest team in the world, and to go down in flames when you're like one of the biggest prospects of the club, man. It's just honestly, it's sad to see. Like I'm not siding with Greenwood in any way, but it's sad to see somebody like him who was who worked very hard to be the footballer he is, and clearly has natural talent as well, just to kind of throw it out the window. And
At the same time, like you gotta look at it. He probably thought because he was doing it to herself. He probably he probably was beating the fuck out of her, then handing her everything she wanted, so on and so forth, and buying her in a sense where he was buying her silence, so to speak.
yeah,
And it just got to a point where rather if the hacker thing's true, fine. I don't understand how the hacker would get involved. Like there's a lot more untold
no,
details there. If that's true.
100%, yeah,
But if I believe it wasn't a hacker thing. I believe she posted it out, and that's my opinion. I think she got to the point where she was so terrified she no clue what to do anymore. She knew if she just came out and said something or she talked to someone, they would have said shut the fuck up and move on with it. Like they wouldn't have believed her
yeah,
because of who it was. And if you look at Greenwood, like I'm sorry, but if you look at him, he does look like a soft boy. Like he doesn't look like someone like that. Man, he does. He looks like a soft boy. Like, um, you know, it's just like I can't picture him throwing the dig. Like, I'm sorry, I just couldn't. Like, that's just what I have in my head. But at the same
mm,
time, it makes sense though because he looks soft now. He wouldn't throw a dig at a man, but he'll throw a dig at a woman. So that's the way it was. Like, so
yeah. No,
crazy.
it is a mad situation. But before we move on, actually, did you hear about this little rumor, about Ole apparently covering this up for a period of time? Like, I don't know what truth there is to this, but it was a story circulating on social media for a while, and I don't know obviously what legs it has to stand on with the kind of legitimacy of it, but
Oh,
it's crazy to think that there's a possibility of other people, including coaches, getting involved in a situation just to protect this kid's identity. It's mad.
yeah, no. There's 100% other people involved. 100%. There's like so things like this, especially like around their friends and stuff. So like with Greenwood, he would have had like he wasn't just going to train the matches with the United players and staff and stuff. His girlfriend would have been involved around them as well.
Yeah,
For certain things, whether it was like parties or events or whatever. So there was definitely other people that knew about this,
yeah,
but they just didn't say nothing because they're obviously trying to whether they were trying to cover up Greenwood side of things or whether they didn't want to go globe or go out with it in case it affected their career, that kind of thing. Um, but no, definitely, I 100% believe there was more people involved in this so-called embargo of fucking hackers and all this. No, I think there was
yeah.
more to this than meets the eye.
No, for sure. I think you're definitely right there. We'll read what chat has to say about it. Gibson Cass says Greenwood is an arsehole. I loved him to bits. He had so much talent, but the guy's a scumbag. If even half is true, he deserves prison. I have no time for anybody who lays their hands on their partner or a woman in general. I feel like that's the general consensus, man. I feel like, across the board, it's something you don't do, and obviously bear in mind when you're in the social media, you're going to be called out a lot easier than anybody else. But it's why I mentioned earlier about Greenwood being made into a spectacle over this, because it's something that people need to learn, and like as we said earlier as well, it's something that you're taught as a young age. So people need to, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's parenting or what it is, but it's just something you don't do, you know?
That's the thing. Like, so we look at this, right, and it does happen a lot more than the other way around. So there's a lot more of these cases with men and women, like men hitting women. But
Yeah,
at the same time, is that now this is another thing, like I don't think that this might be a card played in court as well, where it comes down to, because it does happen where women actually beat men in a relationship. You know what I mean? That's
yeah,
actually that is a thing, whether to believe it or not, that's actually a thing. So it would be the case of him going to court. He could use that as a defense. Now, I don't know how it would stand in that matter, but that's literally what he could do. He could literally say, listen, she was slapping me around the whole time and I lost control, whatever. You know?
yeah,
He could use that, like, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. That's why these cases are so sensitive
yeah,
and why it gets blown to the next level. Now, regardless whether she was beating him or not, he's still gonna be the one that suffers the most. Do you get what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Because of the fact of who he is, and he's a man, and so many other aspects come under the line of obviously public figure or pro footballer, so on and so forth.
yeah,
But it's definitely going to be interesting to watch this unfold in court. This is gonna go on for a long time. This won't be settled just like that. Like cases like this, especially when it involves celebrities,
yeah,
it always goes panned out. They'll try and do settlements, money settlements, no prison and all that, or probation, so on and so forth. Um, but I guess we just gotta wait and see where it goes, really.
yeah.
But
It's
for me, just on the basis of the video I heard and the fear in her, you can hear the fear in her voice as well. Um, to me, he deserves nothing but the fucking castration block. Like that's my take on it now.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not something you can really defend. And I'm gonna read one or two more comments in chat before we move on. Vincenzo says to never lay your hands on someone, and the topic of rape needs to be a topic more in schools. I think too, unfortunately, it's becoming something you hear more and more, and it's heartbreaking. I think people need to be more seriously thought. Yeah, I feel like in general, there's no real guidebook by it, and it depends on parenting, but as we've learned clearly, parenting just isn't something you can depend on, because it depends obviously on the people who are parents. So, yeah, I feel like in school, because we're taught a lot. I feel like it's actually a good point about, like, even in terms of like basic stuff like taxes and mortgages and this and that stuff that you don't get taught in school, that you're kind of thrown out into the deep end with. I feel like there's a lot of subjects in school you should be learned, even to have like have a class in school, whatever you want to call it, like general living or whatever, where you're just taught like how to be like a member of society. And see some of the people in chat talking about common sense. Because Jenny, you think that it's common sense to people, but for some it's not. It doesn't make any sense to them, you
Oh
know?
no. So the thing is, like, it is like, if you're a normal human being, I'm gonna break this down. If you're a normal human being and all your wires in your head are wired together correctly, it's common sense, and
Yeah,
you know what's right from wrong. There's some people that are actually born and all the wires are crossed. Like they're not connected in the right way. And no matter how much you teach them or guide them down the right path, they still turn out to be fucking psychopaths, serial killers, rapists, murderers, fucking,
yeah,
the whole lot, the whole lot. And that's not down to like what they've been taught or how they were brought up. It's literally, some people are just born with cross wires. They're not, as our term is, they're not the full shilling. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
Um, and that's the thing. Like, it's become a factor now where more and more people are doing this shit, but it's like the people that are doing it are the people that have been hiding their true self, and they see on the news, man rapes woman, gets away with it, blah blah. So then they go out and do it, and so on and so forth. So
yeah.
social media does not help this either. Social
No.
media does not help it at all, especially like when you have, like, as I said, the people that have their wires crossed are the same people that are standing there saying Greenwood done nothing wrong. She was begging for it. So like these aren't just kids trolling. Like I've seen some comments and I've clicked onto their profiles and these are grown ass men with wives and kids and all.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, she was begging for it. And I'm like, what? These are lads
Yeah.
older than me with families, and you're literally sitting there saying, oh, it's grand, sure. He raped her. Sorry. It's like, what? Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck am I seeing? Like, fair enough about these young lads, because young lads haven't got a fucking clue. You know what I mean? If they seen a fucking vagina, they stick a plaster on it and think it was a fuck. You know what I mean? So we don't gotta worry about them, you know what I mean? But it's the ones that are grown men with families that are saying this shit.
Yeah.
Or grown women defending Greenwood. Oh, he's still my babe and all. It's like, bitch,
Yeah.
sit down.
State.
Fucking hell, man.
No,
Like,
it's true. It's true. Like they don't make it doesn't make sense, but it's what I'm saying. Like for people like you and me, man, we were brought up like with somewhat respect, but for some of these guys, I feel like it needs to be taught in school to actually give them some sort of a general sense of what's going on. And I feel like a lot of people listening or people in chat will definitely agree with that. That for some people it's not common sense and it might need to be brought in a different way. But moving on to something a bit more positive. Well, arguably positive. I want to see Jenny's opinion on this. Is Team of the Year release, Jenny. We're gonna go through it from start to finish, and I want to get your opinions on it. All right. So, in terms of football, we've had Donnarumma as our goalkeeper, Cancelo, Diaz, Marquinhos, and Hakimi as our back four, De Bruyne, Jorginho, and Kante as our CMs, and Mbappe, Lewandowski, and Messi as our Team of the Year. So Jenny, in terms of that, do you think they've made the right decision this year?
no.
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 All right. So,
All right.
where have they gone wrong? Without going too far in the detail, because obviously we got an interesting one after this. Where have they gone wrong?
Donnarumma should not be in there.
You don't think so?
No, Mendy should be there.
Mendy, yeah. It's just like for me, it's hard for me to judge because I wouldn't watch a lot of French league football, so it's hard for me to say. I'd only watch PSG in the Champions League or this and that, and obviously Donnarumma's only in this year, so I haven't watched a lot of it. But go on, what are you saying?
There's a reason you don't watch the French league, because there's about 3 teams in it competing for the title, like, and the rest of them are just there. It's like it's like the Grand National, Chris. Yeah, you've got your favorite, your second favorite, and the guy that's just outside of around 7-2. Yeah, and then you got a pack of fucking donkeys in the back of 50 to 100 to ones. Yeah, just there for the fucking show and tell, like, you know what I mean, to even out the score. Like, that is the French league, right?
Okay.
So, like, Mendy's doing it in the best league in the world. He was doing it in the Champions League. He done it Chelsea won the Champions League, the whole job. Like, yeah, he done it in all of it. Right, Donnarumma, great keeper. Don't get me wrong, but did not deserve that spot. Hakimi should not have got that position over Trent Alexander-Arnold in a million years.
You don't think so?
Not in a million fucking years. Not in a million fucking years. For FIFA, the game, if we're playing fucking FIFA 22, grand, throw Hakimi in there. Obviously, he is better in the game. But in terms of real life, there's not a fucking hope Hakimi gets in over Trent. Like,
yeah,
fucking, it's criminal, that one. Like, that's my opinion. It's criminal anyway. Like, the thing about it is that the way I look at it is it's like the team you pick for playing a game, not an actual, like.
Yeah, no, it's true. I know I've talked to a couple of FIFA content creators about it, and they all claim that these teams were all picked prior to it actually being released, due to the fact that it encourages players to play the game in a certain way. So it's kind of crazy with that being said, but here's my question, and here's my whole kind of dig with it, that I don't have much opinions on Team of the Year, but one of them is Jorginho in CM. Now, bear in mind, I know he won the Champions League, right? And I know he won the Euros with Italy. But is he realistically one of your best centre mids in the world alongside De Bruyne and Kante? That's my only question.
Nah, penalty taker, yeah. Penalties insane. I'll give him that. But no, he should not. No, you can't. Like, at the end of the day as well, he wasn't the one that won the Euros for Italy.
Yeah, no, 100%.
He done not. Like, and I'm not being bad or anything, but same with Chelsea. Like, he has Kante alongside him. Kante does all the work. You know what I mean? Straight up, Kante does all the work. You know,
Yeah,
so for me, no, he shouldn't be in there either. It's like out of all the players, centre mids in the world, like I have in my head, he's definitely not there for me.
yeah, that's my kind of spiel. Now, bear in mind, I know it's about the team of the year, so you're talking about the second half of the last season plus the start of this season. And I know obviously Jorginho fell into that very, very good start with Chelsea and Italy, but I completely agree with you, man. It's just like when you think about like the best midfielders in the world, is Jorginho in there? No, he's not in a million years, man. He's just like I don't want to say, like, I'm not saying he's a bad player, or I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be in the limelight, but it's just like when you have him beside De Bruyne and Kante, like there's a clear difference in skill level, like a clear difference.
No, I agree. Like he definitely didn't deserve it. Like as I said, like that was the one I was going to point out as well. So, so with Donnarumma, Hakimi, Jorginho, and for me, Messi should not be there. Messi is
Yeah.
only there because of who he is and his status and what he's done in football. Messi should not be in that first team 11.
What about
That's,
Mbappe? Do you feel like Mbappe deserved that spot?
no, Haaland,
Yeah, Haaland. Yeah,
Haaland.
this is the question. There's definitely a few decisions being made here that were up in the air. Messi and Mbappe getting in that squad, and you know you've like the likes of Salah and Haaland who could have made it in there. It definitely makes you think. There's a lot of different ways you can go with it, but let's get
I
down.
was torn. I was torn because Haaland, Lewandowski, Benzema, and Salah would have been my four. Yeah.
Yeah.
I play a different formation to the team of the year anyway, right? Because of them four, I'd have to play a different formation. And I'd have
Yeah.
to try to work. I'd probably so I'd have Salah out on the right. I'd have to try somehow to get Mbappe to work on the left because I know he's the quickest. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'd have Alan and Lewandowski there. You know what I mean? So that was for me. Like it's just as I said, Mbappe and Messi. Mbappe got in because he's on the FIFA 22 cover, and all the 10-year-olds don't know football. We're all like,
Uh.
you know, and yeah, and you know, he's the main face of FIFA 22. So that was like, you know, what I mean, Ronaldo should not be even talked about.
Yeah,
Well.
Ronaldo got the the 12th man, should I say?
Yeah.
Over Salah. How did you feel about that? That must have been a big.
It was. Do you know what it is? It's like I'm gonna say it straight out as it is. If Salah was Brazilian, Portuguese, Spanish, or French, right? He was in that fucking starting 11. The fact that he's from fucking Africa and he's an Egyptian, yeah, it's like they discredit him or something. Like, look at him again, right? He's gone with his team into the finals of AFCON. People are like, sure, it's only AFCON. Well, then I just go, sure, it's only the Carnival. Like, you know what I mean? Who have we got? Fucking Argentina, Brazil? You know what I mean? Like, so,
Yeah.
you know, it's only the Euros. Sure, who have we got? France? You know what I mean? Like, so, he just, you know, we got to pace it down to, like, the basis of if Salah, in my opinion, if Salah was Brazilian, Portuguese, Spanish, or French, he was in that starting 11. I feel like a lot of the people involved in picking the team are very biased. Probably some of them are racist. And that's being honest. That's just being straight. That's my honest opinion. If Salah wasn't from Africa in Egypt, okay, and he wasn't like, because at the end of the day, Salah doesn't give a fuck about money. You know what I mean? He's same as Mane. They put up most of their money into into Africa, building schools, building homes, putting in fresh wells, doing all that shit. Yeah. I think it's like if you can look into the whole thing, Mane, it's like I think it's like 70% of Mane's wages goes to his own fund in Africa.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck about money. You know what I mean? People then slag Salah for him believing in what he believes in. He's always praying at the start of a game, half time, when he scores a goal, the whole lot. Salah's an inspiration to every footballer, young kid out there, 100%, because he's doing it. He's doing it off the back of a fucking dodgy start to career. He was fucking mucked off at Chelsea. They never really gave him like he couldn't take off. They said he was never going to be able to do it in the Premier League. Then he went to Roma, started picking up the reins, started really doing fucking well. And then he comes back to fucking Liverpool and is now out and out. And people can say, oh, no, he's not. Well, check the fucking stats. He's out and out one of the best fucking strikers to ever grace the fucking Premier League, and his stats show that. You know what I mean? He's outdone Ronaldo. He's outdone Ronaldo. He's outdoing everyone's stats. And if he's there for another, if Liverpool re-sign him, even for a year and a half, 2-year contract, and get him for the 3 years, he will break Premier League records left, right, and centre. Every one of them. He'll smash every single Premier League record, and that's a fact.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt he's a talented player. Going back to what you said, I don't know if I go down the whole route of like it's racist. That I don't even go down that route. It's a dodgy route to go down. I just feel personally that going back to what we said earlier with how they pick their players and how it's based around FIFA, I feel like Ronaldo's an easier sell than Salah, and I feel like that's how they've gone. I feel like Salah's obviously the pick you're gonna go for realistically. And why would you pick Ronaldo? Like, don't get me wrong, Ronaldo's one of the GOATs. Arguably the GOAT, okay? Just to leave it out there, but at the same time, man, Salah has done absolute bits, and to not even consider him, not even, I mean, he was considered obviously, but like, I would have thought it would have been a landslide that Salah would have won. You know, I had some guys in my chat say Ronaldo was a lap, but I was like, boys, it's obviously Salah, don't be stupid. And anyone with sense is like, yeah, it's Salah. So I know that some of the votes only make up a small percentage of what they pick, but at the same time, there was a clear, I feel like it was definitely one-sided, and you know.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like over the course of the last 18 to 24 months, nobody comes close to Salah and what he's done. Do you know what I mean? He and he's not, and people can say, like, do you know, with most players that have unbelievable seasons, and they're like, oh, well, he doesn't do it against the big teams. He does it against everyone.
He does. He did it against City, I remember.
Look what he did to City's defense. City has one of the strongest defenses in the world, and Salah made them look like fucking 10-year-old children in the school playground by himself.
It's true.
So,
it is true.
When you've got someone of this caliber, look what he did to United. I thought they were. I was actually expecting a phone call. Now, obviously, not a pun intended, but I thought there was actually going to be fucking allegations of sexual assault from the United board from what Salah did to them at Old Trafford. All right, no pun intended. Obviously, what we were talking about earlier, but that's true.
Yeah. It was devastation. Like, honestly, it was just a mockery. Like, I know you were making jokes about saying that they wanted to go light on them at half time. You know what I mean?
They turned off as soon as they got the 50 to 48 minute. We just. I swear to God, Klopp was screaming onto the pitch. Will you fucking stop scoring? You're going to get Ole sacked. Just take fucks. Mike's like, all right, calm down.
Yeah, keep Ole in the job a couple more days.
Yeah, give Ole a fucking chance, will you?
Nah, it was mad, but I don't think anybody can really argue that. But listen, let's talk about the real side of it, okay? As I said, this week in the podcast, we want to bring more fun topics in. And this is the start of it, right? With the 4th episode, we're going to kick it off here. But not so much news, but, you know, so you guys can learn more about me and Jenny. Jenny, let's start, all right? Our all-time top 11, all right? 11 players, that is going to be your starting 11. Let's say aliens came down to Earth and they were like, pick your best 11 players in their prime, play against us, all right? That kind of job. Who are you picking? So we're going to go 1-to-1 players, right? We'll start with goalkeeper. Jenny, first pick.
Goalkeeper, all time.
Yeah.
Tafarel, the Brazilian keeper from back in a fair while ago.
That is some picks I don't even know him. What is his name?
Tafarel.
How do you spell that?
Taffaffarel. Brazilian goalkeeper.
Claudio Tafarel.
Yeah, Brazilian goalkeeper. Like, it was, I swear to God, one of the best goalkeepers. Chris, trust me, if you have time, just watch a couple of YouTube videos on him.
I will.
If there is, yeah, I'm telling you now, man, this guy was different. Now, a lot of people you see in your chat will say different, you know, because we're talking like, I'm talking going back. You know, I'm back when. Do you remember when Brazil were just dominating World Cup of the World?
Big time.
And they were just that's the guy, Tafarel.
Man, when I think of Brazilian dominating, I'm thinking of Dida. Dida was my one.
Dida's after.
After,
Tafarel.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how far I'm going back, lad.
Man, I'm giving you some major respect there. I've had to Google this fella, not knowing who the fuck he is. Absolutely incredible. That's a big pick. That's I don't know if I can top that, man. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know this guy in terms of goalkeeping, but if you say he's good, Jenny, I'm gonna trust you. My goalkeeper, the best goalkeeper I can think of, honestly, for me, man, prime Peter Cech was just a demon. Now, obviously, I'm going off, age here and what I've seen. I'm not saying that I'm right. It's just my opinion.
No, I respect it.
Prime Cech for me, man, was just... He was the most feared goalkeeper in the Premier League for so long, just because of his... He was just a demon. Now, another close choice would be either likes of Neuer, but for me, Cech was just a shot stopper. He was just... There was something about him. There was something about Cech, man. He was just the go-to goalkeeper. He was just... Like obviously, you have your goats. Like, you have your Neuer, you have Cech, you have Schmeichel. A lot of people know. Yeah, Casillas, all the boys, man. But look, for me, Cech was the guy.
You know what the crazy thing, right? So you're going Cech, but the crazy thing is, Caffarel is now coaching at Liverpool. Alisson.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He only took the job about 9-10 months ago.
Okay, all right. So Alisson has a good...
It's the Brazilian link, man. That's what it is.
Yeah.
The Brazilian link. But Taffer, man, honestly, I swear to God, and if anyone listening in, boys, if you don't know who Taffarel is, honestly, trust me. Just go back, watch some highlights, watch him when Brazil were romping everybody, and you'll be very shocked at how good, insanely good he was. He was next level.
I gotta check him out. Yeah. All right, so right back, man. I feel like I'm gonna be so modern compared to you now. I feel ashamed. But go on, Jenny. Who's your right back? Tell me.
Right back.
Yep.
It's a fucking tough one.
It is. There's so many goats, man. There's so many goats in right back. It's actually mad. I feel like defense is such a tough one as well. Defense is a really tough one.
It's like if I'm going right back, I have to go another Brazilian.
Oh, here, who is it, man? Dani Alves.
No, I'm gonna have to go Cafu.
Cafu, good pick. Good pick. To be fair, good pick.
Cafu, yeah.
Oh,
man. Can't lie, there was it's like, honestly, and people may laugh at this, but like Cafu's my choice. But I tell you who's up there for me as well.
Who?
He's might find it laughable, but I think straight up, Gary Neville.
You're putting Neville up there.
Gary Neville was insane in that. Like straight up. Honestly, I swear to God. Now I'm not going to. He wouldn't make my all time, but Gary Neville was insane. He was absolutely amazing.
Okay,
he really was.
Okay.
Really
to be fair, I've seen Neville play. I've seen him, like, I was like, all right, he's decent. But
he was never.
No, yeah. For me, when I watched him, he was never like, oh man, he had a mad moment. But he was a solid player.
Yeah, he was solid. He was all round solid though. But the fact is, as well, is that, like, you gotta think about it. Look at the fucking 11 or the 10 other players he had around him. Pure world class talent. Like, so it was very hard to stand out. Like, Trent stands out for the likes of Liverpool because Liverpool's midfield are a bit and we've got fucking Matip who has great games and then he flops, and we've Virgil who hasn't been the same. So you can see, like, where the levels are. Do you get what I mean in that sense?
Yeah.
Like, Neville was such a, like, I grew up around Prime United. Like, I mean Prime United. The years of suffering I had to go through watching Prime United. And Neville was so consistent. Now, as I said, I won't give him the number. I won't put him over Cafu. But if I was to fucking have a sub on the bench to come on for Cafu, would have been Gary Neville.
Okay.
100%.
Surprised you didn't say somebody. I'm pretty sure he was a right back. Someone like John Arisa. He was a right back, wasn't he? Was he a right back?
Yeah, but Arisa was just wicked with the boot. Like, you know what I mean? He wasn't the. He could just hit them from fucking the halfway line, kind of, in a sense. But he was very versatile. He was left and right. He played centre mid for fucking half the season.
Yeah, he did as well. That's true. That is true.
He was so fucking versatile. But no, for me, Cafu all day.
Okay. I feel like I'm being put to shame here by the icons. You're throwing
different
out here.
times.
It is. For me, a right back. Now, bear in mind, guys, I said this is just my opinion. I'm just going off of what I've seen. for me, now I know chat's gonna slay at me so much for this. I know yous are, but I'm just gonna say it out loud. There's one right back that I've seen that time and time again has saved our team's ass so many times, and only it's just me because I obviously watch the matches more than anyone probably. But man, I gotta put him out there. I have to say it, man. Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker is fucking unbelievable. Now, bear in mind, I know he's made some mistakes. Now, hear me out, boys. Hear me out. I know he's made some mistakes.
To get roasted, I can hear it coming.
Man, the amount of times he has saved our arse, I can't think of. Now, this is obviously due to me watching City games more than most. But man, the amount of times he has stopped some gods going forward. You're talking Neymar, Mbappe, all them boys, and he's the only lad who was showing up to stop the ball. I
respect it. Like, because at the same time, as I said, like the boys gotta understand as well is that like it's different time eras. So I'm going to have like a lot older boys than you would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but you're going with Kyle?
Honestly, I'm gonna go Walker. Now, this is just my experience, man. I've never watched a defender save our arse more and save a team more. I know he makes mistakes, man, but as a City fan, you watch Kyle Walker, you know what I'm talking about, man. He has saved our arse so much, especially last year, man. Fucking hell. Like the speed of Kyle Walker, any team he plays with, they'll always say Kyle Walker's the fastest, and man, just the tracking he does is absolutely ridiculous. So I gotta give him props, man. Honestly, he's just unbelievable for me. Right, let's get into the central role here, and then we'll move to left back at the end. One centre back, Jenny. You got to pick one. We'll move on to the second afterwards. Centre back number one, right centre back. Who's your pick?
Nemanja Vidic.
Really, Vidic?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was gonna say the same thing. Vidic. He is the scariest, most ferocious defender I've ever seen. He's an actual demon, isn't he?
Unbelievable. I used to fucking hate when we were playing United when he was in defence. I fucking despised it.
Yeah.
The cunt would stop a bus like.
No, he was just such a force to be reckoned with. Never mind how scary he was looking, but man, the amount of like last ditch tackles and just the presence he had. Presence of a player I feel like is forgotten nowadays with football. I feel like he's one of these players that had presence through the times that was just like, I feel like you only appreciated him when he was gone. That kind of job. Do you know what I mean? He's just absolutely incredible.
100%.
We're agreeing. That was an easy one. Yeah. All right, man. I don't even know who I'm going to say for my second one here. I really don't. It's tough. Who's your second centre back?
I've watched some greats. I really have. This is going to hurt me. I have 3 juggling around.
Okay. Who are your 3? Give us the mindset. Give us the mindset, and then let us know who you're picking.
Okay, Maldini, Sergio Ramos, and Nesta.
Yeah, they're
3.
They're great little picks.
Because the thing about it is, Nesta was a lot better than people like understood. If you watch back, like if you watch them, especially when we were growing up, like watching these, like AC Milan was a big team for us to watch when we were growing up. Prime Barcelona and stuff.
Yeah.
The reason Nesta was kind of outshone was because of how unbelievable Maldini was, but Nesta was just as good.
Yeah. Okay.
If it's my all-time 11, I have to give it to Maldini. To be realistic about it, I have to. He's just accomplished so much.
Yeah, he's known as one of the GOATs, especially in defending. So I don't blame that decision at all. Maldini, that's a good one. Oh man, mine looks bad now. For me,
John Stones.
John Stones, but he's getting it right. No, that's not John Stones. For me, there's 2 centre backs that I'm thinking, if I'm pairing them with Vidic, who are going to be feared, who's it going to be? There's 2 on my mind right now, and it's Ramos and Terry. Ramos and John Terry. And I'm
I'd
like,
have Terry in an all-time Premier League 11. I wouldn't have him in a World 11. That's my opinion.
for me, I somewhat want to agree with you. I nearly want to flow into Ramos just because, like as much as he was a dirty bastard throughout his career, he was feared. Like he was a badass as a centre back, man. He still is. And I feel like if you had him with Vidic, it would be like the wombo combo essentially. It would be like if you're a striker, man, if you're against Vidic and Ramos, you are fucked. You are getting absolutely bullied. So for that reason, I'm gonna say Sergio Ramos.
Okay.
I feel like that would be a really, really good combo for me. But crazy. I mean, we got some good picks so far. The only questionable pick, at least from chat's reaction, was Kyle Walker, but that was well expected. All right, Jenny.
I have Cafu and you have Kyle Walker.
Oh yeah, literally. Right, left back, Jenny.
This is just a clear given, and no one will ever match him ever. Mr. Roberto Carlos.
Yeah.
What a fucking player.
Yeah, no.
What a fucking player.
For his ability alone, it's hard to see anybody past Roberto Carlos. He had so much. Do you know what I mean? Just like as well rounded as a Brazilian defender you can get, essentially. You know what I mean? Absolutely incredible. He's a player you can rely on, and he's a player who just, I mean, he fit into Brazil squad when they were at the peak of their game, and I mean, he's one of the guys when you think about left backs in history, he's always the first guy you think of.
Yeah,
he's always.
He scored. Do you remember the free kick? I don't know if you ever seen the free kick he scored with the outside of his boot.
Of course, man.
From like 50
yards.
That's better than any porn you find on Pornhub. Right up.
Oh, it was a moment. It was too good. But yeah, we're both agreeing on that one. That's fairly easy. Right. So for the sake of argument, Jenny, we're going to do a 4-3-3. Just to make it easier, because you can include your wingers and one striker in there. So we'll go with the team of the year 4-3-3 format.
You really want to go 4-3-3?
I do, because realistically, you
need
a winger.
4-4-2.
4-4-2?
I think 4-4-2. Yeah, 4-4-2. Because so let's we put this into perspective, right? Your nowadays typical left winger, right winger, yeah, you can put them left and right mid. All right. So for the likes of Sterling, Salah, Mane, fucking Mahrez, them kind of boys, they can play left and right mid, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, but obviously none of them are going to be in the alternate.
Yeah,
no. You get what I mean?
Yeah, no, okay, that's fair. All right, okay. Let's start off then. Oh man, I'm getting nervous. Right mid, who are we picking? Oh man, I don't know who the hell I'm gonna say. Right mid, what are you saying, Jenny? The silence is deafening.
Right mid.
I think I know what I'm gonna pick. If we're talking about roles, there's one easy one. Nah.
Oh,
If it's right mid, lads, there's one pick. I'm sorry, there is one pick, boys. You're stupid if you say otherwise. There's one right answer here, Jenny. I'm not gonna lie. Unless you're thinking of something different.
I'm not. I'm going back to the older boys for a minute. Just trying to remember, did any of them play in that position? That's all.
Well, as you said, if you have a right forward, they can happily slot into right mid.
Yeah, no, I know who you're thinking of. I know.
Oh, you know well who I'm thinking of, man. And everyone listening to this podcast right now is screaming, being like, "Man, just say the fucking name."
It's gonna break me heart. I'd love to say Salah, but I can't.
that was when it was over. I want to say Salah, man.
No, we have to give it to Messi, obviously.
Messi has to be the one. There's no one else. Messi's not a striker. If we had a different position, we could slot him into maybe, but he always played on the right. That's Messi's position. It has to be Messi. Guys, there's no other right answer to that. I really don't think there is. There's none other that you can pick. There's great players, but there's great and then there's the GOAT. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Messi has to be there. Right mid, no question. Right, Jenny, we're going to move across slowly because there's going to be some questionable ones in here. But centre mid number one, who is it?
Ronaldinho.
Oh, that's fucking saucy. Hold on. Ronaldinho. Would you not put him on the left mid?
No. Got me left mid covered.
But man, hold on a minute.
Ronaldinho's
Your
in my
centre
midfield.
mid is Ronaldinho.
Yep.
Man, you've mixed this up something fierce, because I would have had Ronnie as my left mid. You've mixed this up something fierce for me.
If you want to throw him out left mid, we can throw him out left mid. You know what I mean? But he's in the fucking team. He can be fucking goalkeeper. He's getting in the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. No,
All right, I tell you what. We'll go left mid first, then. All right.
Okay.
All right, and then we'll do centers. Right, Ronaldinho.
Yeah, no, easy. Ronaldinho for me is well left mid all day. At Ronaldinho's time, no man was more talented than him. He was an absolute demon, and he made a show of teams. He made Madrid look like nobodies. In El Clasico. So yeah, right. Messi on the right, Ronaldinho's on the left. Now, Jenny, we're into the serious business. Centre mid number 1. Who is it?
Center mids.
Yes. Now, if you want to give me a duo, you can. If you want to give me a duo, you can.
No. I'll give you one, and then you go one.
Okay.
How many good center midfielders? Me growing up, I witnessed some fucking serious midfielders.
Yeah.
But for me, and I'm probably going to get fucking demolished for this.
Go on.
I know I'm going to get demolished.
I already get laughed for Kyle Walker, man. Go on, do it.
Right. It's not Gerrard as well. Before everyone starts saying, "Oh, he's going to pick Gerrard."
Who is it? Go on.
I'm going to get hated for this so much. Paul Scholes.
No, why would you get hated for that? That's a great answer.
I'm a Liverpool fan. Like, I'm picking Scholes over Gerrard.
No, I get that, but man, Scholes was. I feel like Scholes was underappreciated at his time because he had so many unreal players around him. Do you know what I mean? People didn't really see the way like we look at Xavi and Iniesta. We only seen them for being unbelievable when they were gone. That's how I feel, anyways. You didn't appreciate them until the partnership disappeared, and you're like, "Oh man, they were so good together."
Paul Scholes, prime Paul Scholes was probably when I grew up. So I was watching the likes of Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, Vieira.
Yeah.
Very very young Lampard. I'm saying Lampard.
Lampard. Go on,
I
Jack.
swear every time I see Chestnut Lampard. No, it's Lampard. No, but like at the end of the day, no. Listen, what Stevie G did for like, and I'm diehard Liverpool. What Stevie G did for Liverpool was absolutely amazing, but he was just that one step behind Scalzi. Unfortunately, he really was.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate that honest take on it.
Yeah, no, Paul Scholes has to be there, man. He has to.
All right, that's interesting. Oh wow, okay. For me, when I'm thinking of midfielders who have just out and out talent, I don't see Scholes being on the same level, personally. Obviously, just personally, as your Roberto Carlos's and your Ronaldinho's and this and that. But then again, I've Kyle Walker right back, so I can't really talk. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my centre mid, and I'm gonna be out straight with it because I feel like he's the best centre mid to possibly ever grace the world. I know I'm biased, but lads, Kevin De Bruyne. I'm sorry, Kevin De Bruyne. He could pick out a player with a toothpick. Honestly, he's just lads. Kevin De Bruyne. If Kevin De Bruyne was around when we had like some of these legends, like if Kevin De Bruyne was on the same team as Messi or Ronaldo, the bits that would have been done. I'm sorry, lads. I have to say Kevin De Bruyne. I know Jenny's cringing right now, but lads, Kevin De Bruyne is passing.
I'm not cringing. Best
I've ever seen. Best I've ever seen.
I respect it. But
best I've ever seen.
Okay, we're going. Okay, no, I'll say that. Go on.
I'm sorry, he's my guy.
I respect it.
I'm sorry.
Listen,
he's my guy.
It. I just thought I had like 20 names bobbling in my head, and none of them was KDB. And
yeah, no, listen, and that's fair. As I said, it's opinion based. There's a lot of good players out there, but man, I just feel KDB. He's one of these players, man. The lads are gonna be talking about when he's gone. I'm telling you now, man. Lads are gonna be talking about when he's gone. Same shit. He's gonna yap all he's want, boys. But when Kevin De Bruyne has fucking gone to the MLS to play for fucking LA Galaxy, man, he was the best. Same with Yaya Toure. Boys don't appreciate him at all till he's gone. Do you know what I mean?
So we have what's so far? We have a different keeper, one different centre back, a different right back, and a different centre mid so far.
We're pretty spread, to be fair. We are pretty spread, which is good.
Yeah. All right.
So
Second centre mid.
second center mid.
And I'm going to say he is 100% the best midfielder ever to fucking step onto a pitch.
Oh, here we go.
Ever.
Let's go.
Ever. Doesn't. And if anyone thinks not, you don't know football. Mr. Zinedine Zidane is my second. And nobody comes close. I pick Paul Scholes first because I was trying to juggle around between Xavi, Iniesta, Pirlo, Seedorf. So many greats that I watched. But hands down, Zinedine Zidane, best midfielder, best centre mid ever.
Yeah, no, we're in agreement there. I mean, he's one of these players once again, Jenny, that I feel like he has a presence that was unmatched. Do you know what I mean? He just was
unmatched.
Yeah,
what he done was it wasn't like, do you know, nowadays you see boys in football and you could see when they're trying. He did everything. He was like a ballet dancer, but with an angry head. He just did everything so graciously, but he didn't overdo it. He done the simplest things, but everything he touched turned to gold. It was just to watch him play was just, it was amazing. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
No, Zinedine Zidane is arguably the best midfielder ever. I 100% agree with that. I feel like there's very hard question in that theory. You had some great players though, obviously around that time. I know you mentioned a couple of them already, but it's hard not to have Zidane in there, at least.
Yeah.
At least in a midfield scenario. I mean, you have a couple of great midfielders in there though, all the same.
Yeah, no, so like for me, like it's like the simple fact of the reason like people ask me, how did you pick Scholes over Xavi and Iniesta and so on? If it's the simple fact of like, I'm looking for that all-round player. Xavi and Iniesta were incredibly the greats, you know. But
yeah,
if it was me, like Scholes, he's just that little edge ahead because of what he did with that team. Like that United team was so successful through his whole career, through his whole entire career, and a lot of it was down to him in the midfield, you know. And obviously Beckham was a big part of it as well. And then we're gonna, obviously, I'll say no more before we move to our forwards. Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to strikers here. Now I'm gonna give us some grace, Jenny. I'm gonna I feel like strikers are a very specific position, but there's definitely room for putting a player in here. Do you know what I mean? So I'm gonna say that, and then I'm gonna allow you. Who is your first striker?
Thierry Henry.
Oh man, I'm so happy we're on the same page. I was gonna say the same thing. I know Henry, depending on positions, but Henry for me was he was a different gravy. Henry was absolutely unbelievable, and you know, he played for Arsenal, but he done some amount of bits for them. I mean, what a player, Jenny! What a player!
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah,
Thierry Henry was different breed.
Yeah, he really was something special. He had everything. Do you know what I mean? Just attacking ability, just the pace of him, the finesse of him. Do you know what I mean? He was just like, if you were to think of a striker and what traits you'd put into a striker, Henry would have like 90% of them. He's just absolutely ridiculous. That was easy. All right, so we have one more position, Jenny. One more position. We've one slot left for a striker.
Do we get subs?
No, we do not. We're not here all day, man.
Do we not get our place?
No, we do fucking not. You got one more player. One more player, Jenny, up top. Who is it for our top players ever?
I really could do with a substitution.
Oh my god. There's a lot of good names in here, man. I know a load floating around in my head right now. But for me, there's one man. There is one man. There just is. There's one man who
I was gonna put I know the one man you think of. He'd be on my bench.
Yeah, that's fair. But who's your guy then? Who's your guy?
Yeah, I'm not giving it to CR7. He's on my bench 100%, but he's not getting the position up front.
So who's getting it? The anticipation is killing me. Jenny, who's getting it?
It's not R7 or 9.
Or 9.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
First Ronaldo.
the first Ronaldo. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's an interesting one. For me, I wouldn't have watched a whole lot of R9 compared to R7 to compare them, but I respect that R9 is known as one of the greatest strikers, if not the greatest striker to ever grace that position. Why have you picked R9?
Like, so R9 was the one that, like, I don't know, like, obviously a lot of you boys wouldn't have got to watch him, but like even like his Milan days, his Madrid days, he was just a fucking absolute demon, man. There was nothing that Kun couldn't do. Like, you know what I mean? Even in bad situations, he'd pick up the ball in the middle of the park and he just had head down, buried through people, bang. Like, he was just inspirational, and to have him and Ronaldinho on the same team again is always going to be a one for me. But like, you got to look at it, boys. I've left out two other legends of the game that should be in there by a mile, and that's Maradona and Pele. Maradona and Pele weren't even mentioned here, so like that's why I said we got subs, because I had me 5 subs lined up immediately. And my like, as I said, like I told you, my 5 subs were I've already mentioned them straight up, and it would have been CR7, Maradona, Pele, Xavi over Iniesta. Xavi would have got in there.
Yeah.
And I would have had Carlos Puyol. They were mine.
Yeah, that's actually a really good sub pick. I feel like you've nailed a lot of different aspects there. Yeah, no, they're good picks. I feel like that bench is good. So for me, lads, it has to be CR7. When I said Henry has 90% of what a striker needs, Ronaldo's the 100% realistically, boys. He's that striker that if you feed him, he's gonna put the ball in the net. And having Ronaldinho out wide, having Messi on the right side as well, I mean, he's gonna have the service. Especially for me, if I had the likes of De Bruyne and Zidane in the squad, Ronaldo's getting a bank full of goals. So I feel like in that squad, he's gonna thrive. For me on the bench, I don't know about bench, man. I haven't even thought about it. Who would I put on the bench? Right, I'm gonna start off. We'll go with Didier Drogba. I feel like he's one of these players who had a presence who was just unmatched. I feel like Drogba's a guy you'd bring on and he'd fuck shit up. Who's my second man on the bench? I'm gonna pick 3. I'm not gonna pick 5. I'm gonna pick 3. Let me see. Who's my second man on the bench? Ooh.
Surely Maradona makes your bench.
Man, I'm of a mindset right now where I feel like the old style of football doesn't match nowadays, man. Like, I feel like Maradona walking into a Premier League right now is running into trouble, and that's honestly how I feel. I seen him play. You see the style of defending back then, Jenny. It was someone who's a fucking farmer defending, man, in those leagues. I don't give a shit what you say. It was absolutely disgraceful, the state of defending back then, man. Honestly, I don't care what you say. I feel like those boys are running into trouble nowadays. If you're coming against fucking Vidic, if you're coming against Diaz, if you're coming against Ramos, these boys are running into trouble. That's all I'm saying, Jenny. That's all I'm saying. 2 other subs, man. I'm gonna say Iniesta. I'm gonna say the other side of it. I'm gonna say Iniesta. Iniesta had the dribbling for me that Xavi didn't have, but I respect Xavi nonetheless. So I'm gonna say
Xavi is definitely more of a CDM, and Iniesta was more of a CM count.
Yeah, for sure. I think Iniesta had the ability moving forward. Iniesta's dribbling was unreal. So Iniesta, Drogba. I'm gonna pick a third player who's gonna be a defender. Who's my other defender? Who's my third defender? Oh man,
Terry.
Actually, yeah, Terry. Terry. No, you're right. Terry, 100%. Terry's going to be the guy who hops in and is able to fill in that role in centre back. That I know he's going to do a good job, and he's going to control the defense, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
I,
No,
I,
I agree with that one.
we've had some great teams there. To be fair, I think that was good. I see a lot of chat talking and kind of giving their opinions of it all. I know a lot of comments about Kyle Walker, but lads, I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, right back wise, Kyle Walker's done bits. That's all I'm saying, boys. That's all I'm saying. Anyways.
We're to upset a lot of people with that one. You're right.
Yeah, I definitely have. But listen, Jenny, come here to me. As I said, this week we want to make it a bit more fun. We want to have a few more kind of fun topics on the board. I know you've set out and you've got a couple of questions here to kind of to find out more about me and you, and even find out more about Sha. So Jenny, you have a couple of questions. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. So, if you could have dinner with any celebrity, alive or dead, who would it be?
Man. Dinner with a celebrity, alive or dead? Oh,
Yeah,
man. Dinner with a celebrity, alive or dead? Oh man, I'm between two. I'm thinking of how fun is this dinner going to be? I want it to be fun. Like I need to have fun at dinner. I need to have fun. There's two people for me that I know I'm going to have good crack with, and it's Kevin Hart and Jim Carrey. And I'm wondering which fucker do I want to take to dinner. I do not know. Kevin's going to be fucking hilarious, but I think Jim Carrey's going to be like a mixture of fun, but like he'll have like some interesting topics to chat about.
Yeah.
But banter wise, I want to say Kevin Hart. I feel like Kevin Hart would be fucking gas, man. We'd be crying, laughing, just talking shite, man, and throwing napkins all over the place. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, fuck it. You know what? I'm going to say Kevin Hart. I think Kevin Hart would be the most banter. Jenny, what's your pick? All right, if you could have dinner with any celebrity, live or dead, who is it?
That was a good one, actually. Yeah, that was a good one. Honestly, it'd have to be my idol, Will Smith.
Oh man, you've nailed it. I was gonna say Will Smith, but the reason why, because everyone knows, if you know me, you know I love Will Smith. I'm a big Will Smith fanboy. He's just such a respected figure. Do you know what I mean? Like he's just like he's like he can do everything. He's a talented man, but like he's smart and he's funny. He's an absolute legend. That's such a good pick.
That's one person I want to meet before I die is Will Smith.
Yeah, like, Will Smith. Me too, man. I do anything. 100%.
Yeah.
Will Smith's a banger. Only reason why I didn't say him for me was just because I wanted like banter at a dinner party, but Will Smith would be a really good balance. Really good balance. I rate that highly. That's a fucking great answer. So right, Will Smith and Kevin Hart who we're bringing to dinner. All right, Jenny, what's your next question?
If you could travel anywhere tomorrow, where would you go?
Oh man.
And why?
Tomorrow, where am I going? Oh, let me see. Yeah, you know what? I think mine's simple. I've been saying this for years. Anybody that knows me is gonna know what I'm gonna say. Is Tokyo. I feel like going to Asia would be such like an experience of just culture. Never minding obviously all whatever if you're going over there for technology or anime or any other shite. I just feel like it's a cultural experience, and I feel like, you know, if you go to America, you kind of know what you're getting, but if you go to Tokyo, you're not really gonna know what you're gonna get. Do you get me? I feel like it's a food experience, it's culture, it's so many different things wrapped in one, and I feel like I'd appreciate it more than anywhere else. That's kind of how I feel about it. What's your pick, Jenny?
Mine's a bit out there, alright.
Oh, it's a bit out there. Oh God, what are you gonna say, man?
Mine's a bit out there, alright. No judgment, alright.
Alright, get ready, lads. Get
But
ready.
I always said I wanted to do this, alright. Now, no judgment, alright. Colombia. Yes.
What are you doing out in Colombia?
I have to try it from the source.
You are some ham sandwich. I gotta try it from the source. This lad here. One thing on his mind.
Listen. Right? I've had a past, yeah. No matter, we've all know the crack with me and all, you know. I've been down my fair share of roads, you know.
Right.
But listen, you've where we're from, you never get a pure. Like, it's 1 of 6, 1 of 7, which means it's been chopped down so much and mixed with shite. I need to know what the source is like.
Jenny wants to be absolutely blown away for one night and then just go home. He doesn't give a shit about anything else, man. Jesus Christ almighty, man.
Oh, fucking hell.
I mean, look, fair. Look, it's an answer I can't deny. It's your own answer. So, look, I mean, I want to go to Tokyo for the cultural experience. You want to have one night of a bender out in Colombia. I mean, fair play to you, Jenny. Look, priorities are priorities at the end of the day, man. You do you. Right, Jenny. That's he's a bitter. Jenny, what's the next question? What's the next question?
Oh, fucking Jesus. Oh, fuck. Which game? Sorry. Which game show do you think you would perform best on, and why?
Game show. Oh man, that's a really good question. Game show. Oh lad, that's such a banger. That is such a banger. Game show.
Mm-hmm.
Game show. You know what sticks out in my mind? And maybe it's because I'm talking shite. Do you know the one, Jenny? Where there's like three rows and they've got a load of coins and they drop them down.
Tipping point.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. It's 4 rows.
Man,
well.
I do be screaming at the telly watching that shite, man. The boys do be going on the wrong side every fucking time. They don't know what they're doing. And I'm like, man, the boys gotta answer 4 or 5 questions and like pick the right side. I feel like on tipping point I do well, but I don't know. I want to say I'm gonna go between 2 here. Tipping point or do you remember Winning Streak, Jenny?
Yeah.
Winning Streak. I would do bits on that, man. I'm telling you, I'd have the crack. I'd be doing bits. I'd be winning cars and holidays. Winning Streak for me would be a good one as well. I feel like that's a good mixture of like questions with prizes, and obviously you get the wheel at the end as well. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with Winning Streak. Winning Streak. I think that's a good one. Well, what's your answer, Jenny? What's yours? Why are you laughing? What is yours?
I don't know how many people are gonna know this, like, because it's an older style.
I'm getting ready to Google it. What is it? Go on, tell me.
I don't know. Have you ever heard of Dave's Supermarket Sweep?
Oh my god! Are you talking about the one where they have to take as much? Wait, you're not about where they take as much supermarket shopping as they can, are you?
Yeah, they have to fill the trolleys.
Is this going back to your experience before, Jenny? Yeah, his experience here. I've taken a few things in trolleys down, legged it out the door back in my day. You know.
No, listen. I reckon, right? I would be a demon at that, man. I would be. Right, listen, I'm coming back from Colombia, right? I jump onto the supermarket sweep with me trolley. I'm baiting through the aisles like a fucking tank, right? Lobbing the fucking CD players, the Hoovers, the whole lot. I'm fucking carrying more than I'm pushing in the trolley sort of job, you know what I mean?
I tell you, the little middle aisle wouldn't know it, hit it, man. You walking through that yoke. Jesus Christ.
100%, I'd love to go on that show, man. Just because, like, you know, do you ever go shopping with your missus in Tesco and she takes so long, you just want to start breaking the place up and fuck the trolley. You're allowed to do it on that show, you know what I mean? I'd be doing the idea, fucking cunt, you know, fire.
That's actually a really good answer. I never even would have thought of that one. That's actually a banger. Yeah. That's a really good one. Dave's Supermarket Sweep, man. Holy shit.
What a guy.
All right, there you go. That's a really good answer. Right, Jenny, what's the next question?
What's something you've always wanted to do but haven't had the chance?
Oh, skydiving. Easy. I'm afraid of heights and I love facing my fears. I love like when your body is shaking and you're in that moment of like, will I or won't I? I've been that a couple times. But yeah, 100%. It's skydiving easy. I just feel like when you face your fear, it's like it's such a good experience.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, man. It's just like, it's something special. And go like skydiving as well, like being at that height and experiencing that. I can only imagine what it's like. But 100%. That'd be the one thing I'd like to do that I haven't had the chance to. And I assume your answer's gotta involve something Colombia, is it, Jenny? Well, what's something you want to do? We never got the chance to. Yeah.
I was going to make a funny joke and say anal, but that was just a joke.
What an opener! What an opener!
No,
There you go,
no,
Jenny.
no,
There you
no, no, we're not going. Jesus Christ.
Come on. Go on. What's your real answer? What's your real answer, Jenny?
Something you've always wanted to do and never had the chance. I'd love to. I'd love to visit Bondi Beach in Australia. That's definitely something.
Bondi Beach. What's the obsession with Bondi Beach?
It's like one of the nicest beaches ever. Like, I'm not sure. Is it New Zealand or Australia? I think it's Australia. Yeah, it is Australia. Bondi Beach.
Yeah, I know it from I think there's a TV series about Bondi Beach, no, where they're like saving people
there was,
doing like accidents or all that shite.
Yeah.
I see it here. It does look unreal. It looks like something you see in a movie, like CGI job, you know. It looks very, very good.
Yeah, 100%. I'd love to go there.
That's a good answer. Far from Colombia, but a good answer now nonetheless.
I'm gone on the opposite side of the world.
The opposite side of the world. Now Colombia's done, boys. We're done and dusted. That's actually a really good answer, to be fair. Bondi Beach and skydiving. I think they're two good answers. Right, Jenny, what's the next question? Hit us.
If you could pick one superpower, what would you choose, and why?
Oh man, bro,
This is an interesting one.
I've had this chat with my community recently, and they all disagreed with me. But I'm gonna still go with my answer because I feel like it's original, and no one predicts it. Is not being able to die.
Immortal.
Yep. Immortality.
You'd be immortality.
I'll have that. No problem. No bother. I know everybody always talks about, being, like being able to fly, or fly used to be my answer, but immortality for me cures the whole idea in my head of like I want to know what the future's like, and I want to experience everything and try everything, and that fixes the answer for me. That fixes it. I know chat's pissed off right now because they watch a lot of Marvel movies, but immortality for me is one that's like, right, that's like I get to experience everything and do everything. So it's it's what I pick. That's pretty much it. What about you, Jenny?
Oh, probably invisibility. Invisibility.
Invisibility.
Yeah.
Where would you be going with that, lad?
Yeah. Well, think about it, right? If I can just fucking, turk it on and off, like, I can literally do anything. I could stroll into a bank, take the cash, walk out the door. You wouldn't know what happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So you're basically saying that you could do whatever your will pretty much wants with that, just because nobody would be able to detect you.
Yeah, I could go and see Jessica Alba naked. She wouldn't even know I'm there.
Oh my god. Let's go back to Jessica Alba there. That's a throwback now. I mean, to be fair, it
take all the cocoa plants from Colombia. They wouldn't know who took them. You know?
Go. I mean, look, it's true. It's true. To be fair, invisibility is a good one. You can do a lot with that. To be fair, with invisibility. That's a really, really good one. Yeah, that is a good one. I see some people in chat here talking about reading minds and time travel. Reading minds, I wouldn't be mad about that one, but time travel's a good one. I feel like time travel might.
I wouldn't like to read minds because every time you look at someone, you read their mind, they're like, "Look at that cunt."
Yeah, I suppose, but like, I feel like some people with like the way they hold themselves, you kind of know what they're thinking. Do you get me? Yeah. I feel like I'm a good reader of people, so I feel like I kind of know what to expect with people versus like wanting to read their minds. I feel like reading people's minds would turn you insane as well because. You know what I mean? You'd be just there'd be too much information coming at you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, overload, man.
But no, I feel like we've two ones there. I know everybody always hates my immortality answer, but fuck yous. I'd love to experience everything and just see everything that happens on Earth. Literally everything. I'd love to do that. That'd be class. Right, Jenny.
Last one.
One more question. Last one. Go on. What have we got?
Describe one embarrassing moment you wish you could erase.
Wow. Okay, this is a good one. This is a really good one. Right, for me it's pretty simple. I'm just gonna straight shoot yous. Oh, I see some people in chat bringing up one for me. It wasn't even embarrassing. Okay, there's two stories. I'm gonna go with two stories here, Jenny. Right. One was a story about sex education. So this one was. I wasn't even that embarrassed. I'm not gonna lie, man. I just didn't know what the fuck was going on. So right, it was in transition year. And they brought this person in to talk about sex ed, right? That was a Gary Grant. I know this is the first time we ever chatted about sex ed. We haven't talked about it previously. So she comes in. I have my class and a bunch of other classes in secondary school with us. So there's, I don't know, there's a fair few amount of us. We're in the library anyways, right? So it's a fairly quiet atmosphere, right? And there's a bunch of plastic chairs around us. And now for some reason there's a bunch of empty chairs. Now don't ask me why, but there is. For some reason they brought in too many chairs. But anyways. So we're all sitting down, right? And teacher, whoever's there, she's like, right, lads, if you feel sick, just put your hand up or whatever. We'll bring you outside and, you know, we'll get you sorted. I was like, alright, no bother. I was like, I don't need that information. I'm alright. Anyways, it starts and she's talking and she's having the crack, you know, trying to make light of the kind of situation. And then she starts going into, you know, the body and all that, right? And I'm like, alright. Yeah. And then I was like, fair enough. And she starts bringing up stuff on a projector screen with photos and all. Yeah? And I'm like, I was like, yeah, it's like, it's okay. You know, not the biggest fan, but, you know, we're here. And then she starts going into diseases. Now, this is where Jenny, I fell, man. I fell off the nest. So she starts going on about testicular diseases, is the phrase here. And yeah, she had the images on screen, and I was just imagining myself in the situation, and it was too much for me, Jenny, right? So I'm looking at it, and I'm trying to listen. You know, I'm usually in good form, but I tell you, Jenny, after seeing some of them photos, I was not in form at all. I was looking like Casper. People told me afterwards, man, I started turning white, man. They were seeing through me nearly. I was transparent, yeah? So I was trying to hold in everything, and I was like, oh man, here we go. So I was like, you know, I can do this. And I was like, okay, Gary, you can't do this. You gotta get the fuck out of here, man. Because I never like was ever in a situation like this before where my body couldn't hack what was going on. So I put my hand up and I was like, yeah, listen, I'm not feeling the best. And she goes, all right, come on, step outside. Right. So I stand up. The second I stand up, man, the lights go out, right? And my eyes are open and it just goes, meow. You know when a TV turns off? It's like that, right? And I just fall forward over a bunch of empty chairs, right? I remember when I stood up, I put my hands on the two chairs in front of me, right? That were empty. And I fell flat-faced all over a bunch of chairs. And the chairs like spread out around me. The clatter of in a library, the clatter of them chairs separating out over me, man. No, I don't even remember falling. I can't remember hitting the floor. I just remember like the chairs collapsing and just my conscious going. That was it. And then I opened my eyes and there's this woman holding up my head and she's like, breathe. And I'm like, Jesus, I literally turned her. I said, here, calm down, will you? I'm alright. I'm calm the fuck down. She's making a big scene about it, right? I'm the one passed out. I'm like, you fucking calm yourself for a minute. Jesus Christ. And I remember waking up and hearing laughter. Because, like, everybody was in bits, man, right? I just woke up and hear laughter. And I was like, here. So, yeah, she's be like, breathe. And I was like, I can fucking alright, calm down. And then I got up and I was like, you fucking chill out, will you? And then she's like, right, we'll step outside. I was like, okay. And I remember stepping outside and I was like going left to right. And I walk out the door and I remember my teacher being there and she hands me a Mars bar and a cup of tea, and that was fairly sound though, to be fair. Felt better after that, but I remember it was awkward, like, because like in the moment I was unconscious and like kind of coming back to my sense, so I didn't really feel embarrassment. I was like, man, what's going on? Like, what the fuck just happened? But when I was outside the door sitting down and I had students walking by and be like, as they're going, you know what I mean? They're like laughing at me as they're walking by. I'm like, oh man. It was that was bad. Or the time. Now, I literally, like, in secondary school, I couldn't look a girl in the eyes until I was, like, 17. I swear to God, man. I was an innocent little boy. And, man, I used to be a little prick in school, and I used to, like, throw shit at people, and I was, like, the little kind of clown. Do you know what I mean, right? And I remember one time, there was a lad who, on this particular day, wasn't happy with me clowning with him. I think I had sand or something, and I threw it at him, and he wasn't happy, and he chased me, right? And I was running away from him. And now in first and second year, if you guys know in Irish schools, you have a big bag in your back, and you have a load of books in it, right? So it's dangerous to bring it around with you, but you know, I had to bring it with me. I was on the way to class. I didn't want him taking my bag. So what happened was, I was running down the hallway, big hallway, and man, the worst thing possible. Like for me, like a guy who couldn't look a girl in the eyes, man. The girls, right? They used to have a little bathroom, right, on the side of the main hallway, and there was a bench outside where they'd all sit down and eat lunch and chat and gossip, right? 2 benches, in fact. And man, the timing was just wank. The worst. I tripped right before the bathroom, right? And man, I was man, I'm 5'5" now, so in school boys I was like 4'9", 4'10", at max. Yeah, first, second year, you're talking small gar.
Small.
The bag went over my head and dragged me face first, like sliding past the women's bathroom. It was like something you see out of a movie. Like the bag's over my head, sliding me like that. I'm just sliding past the women's bathroom, red face, getting clattered, like a scene out with Jackass. And I was like, oh my god, this just happened to me, man. The bag was heavier than me, it literally was. And man, I got up and I just remember looking at the girls and they're all in tears laughing at me, and I'm just like, oh my god. And I was like, man, I don't know what to do. So I just walked off, just pure embarrassed. Like, for me, that was the most like sense of embarrassment, feeling like 16, 17, 18 girls sitting on a bench just in tears laughing at me getting absolutely clattered by me bag.
That's
Dragging me down the hallway, man. Yeah, it was mad. But I'd say that was my top 2. Jenny, I've been talking for a while here. What is your most embarrassing moment?
Mine's pretty straightforward, man. Not going to lie. So I was 17 at the time.
Yeah.
And the mother and her fella wanted to go out that night, and they wanted me to babysit the 2 sisters. I told them I can't, like, you know, one of the boys have a birthday party on, you know, we were going drinking or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was grand, all well and good. So I thought the mother and father didn't bother, end up going out anyway. And I went out about my business, went out, got absolutely pissed, you know, done the whole lot. I came home and it was about 1:15 in the morning.
Okay.
I came through the door and there was this queer one in me off. I was like, who the fuck is this? You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I was like, alright, how's it going? You know, our story was, you know, and she was like, oh, I'm babysitting. I'm like, alright, yeah. So I'm there half, you know, scuttered, you know, whatever.
Okay.
And being the young Jenny I was, like, you know, so I'm sitting there and this one's fair day, isn't, like, you know, so I'm sitting in the sitting room and girls are up in bed and like, yeah, where are you from? So on, you know, having the chats and all, and so I asked her, I was like, what age are you? She's like, oh, I'm 16, turned 17 in 4 weeks. I'm like, oh yeah, really? Yeah, I'm 17, yeah. So sitting there on the couch and just having the chats or anything, and one thing led to another, you know. And
here we go.
So, you know, Jenny was playing Humpty Dumpty then, you know, on the couch, and the other one walks into the door.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, here's me lashing the babysitter over, and yeah, it's probably the most. I don't think I've ever felt my dick go as soft in my life. And that is being real, like that at that moment, like 10 seconds before you hear the door open, you're like Bruce Willis in Die Hard, nothing stopping you. You're fucking, you know, you're like fucking Ruby Walsh coming down the last furlong like a champ. Then the door opens and
Game
the head
over.
just goes. You're like, this is the word of a lie. Couch is here. Her knee, one knee's on it, her leg up. I'm standing behind her. Doors about over here. Hear the door swinging. First instinct for me was like, it was me fucking sisters. I was like, fuck, you know. My head just goes. And here's the other one, and she's standing there. She just drops her bag, and I'm like,
oh my god.
And for that brief 5 seconds, it was the most fucking shameful way I've ever. I was literally there, and I'm like, I've just been caught banging the fucking babysitter, you know. So little did it know, and I was fucking, you know, I was 17 at the time, so I was still under 18. So Yeah, one took me fucking phone and me privileges, and I was fucking locked up for about a month.
They weren't allowed to make contact with
And
people for a month.
safe to say that girl never babysitted again, you know.
I hope to say she did.
Yeah, that's definitely my most embarrassing.
That's pretty bad though. That's pretty bad. Oh my god. That's a really good one, to be fair. But I haven't been in a situation like that before. Jeez, but yeah, I can.
Yeah, no, it's not nice. Not nice.
Oh man, that's a really really good one, to be fair.
It's like all in all, right? So not only did you get caught doing that, right, which you knew, it was like the perfect time for that skit to come in at this moment. He knew.
Yeah, at this moment, right? He knew he fucked up.
Yeah, but the worst thing about it was like you were blue balled as well. You didn't even get to finish. You know what I mean? And you were so ashamed you couldn't even go upstairs and finish yourself off because you were so ashamed. Like you just couldn't get the image out of your head. It didn't matter what porn you'd watch, it wouldn't go away. I tell you, boys, I don't think I was able to bust for about a month after that.
Oh my god! I can only imagine, man. I can only imagine you're gonna always be thinking about that moment.
It was.
That is gas.
So
yeah,
but it was all my fault. When my mom was talking to me about it a few days later, it took her a few days to come around. She was like, "It was all my fault," and I was like, "Listen, we connected, you know." She was like, "You had sex with the babysitter after talking to her for half an hour. How was that connection?"
It
happens, like
it happens. It does, boys. It does. That is absolutely gas. We have our topic here. There's one topic for the end of the night. I know I've been telling you guys about this on social media. I think it's a banger of a question, and I want to go into this right now because I know we're on a long one tonight, but it's been absolutely gas, and I love these kind of fun questions. Definitely make the podcast a lot more enjoyable personally. Anyways, right, Jenny, I'm asking you this first. You are stuck on a desert island for 5 months. What 5 Irish content creators are you bringing with you, and why?
Okay. First person I bring is King Langpart, because he's like 6'5" and built like a fucking tank. So that motherfucker could like lift a lot of big shit and stuff.
That's a good one. It is
and
a good one.
I know he'd help me like build shit and just muscle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
So definitely, like, and if we hadn't got weapons, he could definitely like rugby tackle a boar. And we just
he could. He's huge. He's absolutely massive. If you thought he was big on stream, boys, wait till you see him in real life. He is absolutely ginormous. He's an absolute animal.
Yeah, no, definitely. King Langpard would definitely be first for that.
Okay.
Second person I'd have is JSM.
Okay, that's an interesting one.
The reason I picked JSM is because like he's like small and agile, so I reckon he'd be really good if we fuck him into the ocean to catch fish.
He's gonna bring JSM to fuck him into the ocean to get a bit of fish.
Yeah, no, like but you know, if you give JSM like a stick, you know what them sticks, sharp sticks, like I reckon he'd be one of them boys like that. He'd be quick and agile to jab the fish, like, you know.
Oh my god! So you're using him to jab fish with a wooden spear. That is unreal. Yeah, well, I wouldn't even thought that far into a situation. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. And he's really skinny, so he wouldn't eat a whole lot anyway, you know. So that's a bonus.
Oh
you know,
god.
if he catches like a big trout, you know, he'll only have a fin and he'd be happy, like, you know, he'd be over the moon. So food would be a benefit with that kind of.
That is so
style,
good.
You know?
That is such a good answer, man. I can't even fly it. That is fucking hilarious. All right.
My
third pick.
Jamie J. Carr. So the reason I bring Jamie is because, right, first of all, right, I reckon Jamie has the mindset to be like really smart, you know, like as in he's funny, so like if we're dying, he'll make us laugh regardless. You know?
Yeah.
And then at the same time, if we can't find any food, he'll give us his other leg, surely, because he already knows what's like to only have one. So, you know, he might give us the other, you know. So, and also we could use his wooden leg for firewood if we ever run out.
Oh,
so we get warm off it.
Jesus Christ, you're using them productively anyways. I give you that, man. I give you that.
Yeah. Like I'm breaking them down into pieces, you know. Working off the good parts. You know.
Oh my god. Okay.
He's definitely there. 4th person actually is yourself. I'd bring you for basically like you're very clear-minded and you think of the right things. Like, and I'd say if we were all like kind of going cuckoo and losing our minds, you'd find a way to get us back to normality in a sense.
Okay,
I feel
okay.
like you'd be the last guy to lose your mind, you know, in that way. You know,
Yeah.
because a lot of us already have problems and addictions. So I reckon like you could bring us down a level because like you're able, like you've such good willpower. Like you don't eat meat, you know, you don't anything to do with animals. You're very disciplined. So that's what we need. We need someone disciplined as well. Like, you know what I mean? At the
Okay.
same time, because like if we find like a case of rum buried underneath the sand, like you'd be like, you're not allowed to drink it all in one night, like, you know. Whereas
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
else be like, give us another bottle, you know. So
All right,
I
okay,
definitely
that's
have you
fair.
there.
That's fair. Okay, okay.
And the last, I was torn up between a few people for the last person. It was like, what do we need? So we've got our builder and our muscle.
Yeah.
We've got our fisherman who won't eat much. We've got the intelligence and the brains. We've got Jamie who's broken down into more parts than Lego. You know. So I was
Okay.
sitting there thinking, who would I bring? Now I thought about Alan, but I thought, fuck no, because one of us will kill him by the 48-hour mark.
It's so true. It's so true.
100%. One of
Oh.
us, one of us, one of us would have end up killing, right? Would have killed him, right? Swear to God. So, no word of a lie. My fifth person I'd bring is because it's someone that I wouldn't mind handing over to, like, if there's like hostile people on the island, like the Aborigines or them boys, you know.
Aborigines. Oh, yeah, go on,
Do you know,
finish.
no, but you know, do you know the boys with
I
the
do.
kilts
The
and the
Aborigines, the
big
boys with the
nose rings
spears
stuff?
and the archers.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, go
So I
on.
thought if I was to pawn off someone who would they want? Like someone that would like annoy them enough that they'd be happy to kill him and let us live. Og. I'm bringing Og.
Oh, wait, Og's not
Yeah.
Irish.
It has to be
It
Irish.
has to be Irish, yeah.
Fuck. I was going to give Og to the Aborigines.
What about Alan? Alan would do it all.
No, fuck no, Jesus Christ. They'll kill us for giving them Alan. Has to be Irish.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Also, for anybody wondering, Alan is a streamer Elite TV, but we love him. We love Alan to bits, just to clarify. We actually love him to bits. We love him.
Irish, has to be Irish. Give me one
Oh
second.
man, it's too funny, dude. Oh my god. Has to be Irish, man. Go on.
Alright, if it has to be Irish, then I'm bringing Benji.
Oh, Benji, yeah?
Yeah, I'm bringing Benji. Benji, like, I think Benji would be like the crack, but also if there is any alcohol on the island, he will sniff it out like a guard dog. I'm bringing Benji. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because even if we're dying, you can see Benji trying to make a flag out of leaves and shit and singing Will Griggs on fire, you know? So, yeah, I'll bring Benji.
Okay,
Fifth.
yeah, okay. That's a really good lineup. So, from start to finish, Jenny, you are bringing King Lampard.
King Lampard, strength and muscle.
Okay.
I'm bringing JSM, agile and doesn't eat much,
Okay.
and a fisherman. I'm bringing Jamie J. Carr because we can break him down into pieces like Lego. He won't mind,
Brilliant.
because you know. I'm bringing yourself for the intelligence to keep us from not losing our minds. I'm
Okay.
bringing, and I'm bringing Benji for the crack and also to sniff out where the rum is hidden from the pirates back in 1647.
That's really, really good. I like your lineup a lot. Your lineup is so original. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I feel like with my decision making, I'm definitely going to be thinking more by the board. I'll start with mine. My number one is the same as yours, King Lampard. I don't know how you can have a lineup of people on a desert island and not include that behemoth of a man. If a bear attacks your camp, Lampard's going to be the first order of defense. Now, bear in mind, he's a big cuddly bear at the same time. He's not really an aggro fella, but if you had to do being like, here, one of us has to punch this bear in the jaw, you're going to be like, right, Lampard, you step up there, Gled. You know what I mean? So Lampard has to be there, man. 6'5", he's massive. He's going to be able to take those coconuts down for the trees. That's going to feed me anyways, I'm vegetarian, so I'll have that any day of the week. Lampard's the guy, built like a brick house. He's the man. Number one. Number two. Oh, man. Let me see. I feel like on this desert island, I don't know if I'm going to make it out or not. So I'm going to pick a lineup that's going to be good banter. And Lampard fits into that, to be fair, too. So my next two are going to be people together. So I'm going to put them together for the reason, which is Bisto, Bob, and Rusher. I feel like these guys are going to bring such positive vibes and such, like, they're going to bring, like, energy to the camp that I'm going to be able to balance off, that I feel like is going to keep me sane. Where, like, I feel like if anyone's ever in a bad mood, or anybody's kind of, how would you say, we're ever in a situation where, like, I don't know, I just feel like the guys are would help out a lot, not only in terms of just the mental welfare of the camp, but just in the banter as well. I feel they're very good guys, they're very positive energy, and Bob is small as well. Bob would definitely be an agile kind of fella. I think me and him could do bits together in terms of, you know, for going around getting plants for cooking dinner or any of that shite, or whatever, you know what I mean? Maybe setting traps or whatever. And then Rusher as well. Rusher's tall enough now. Rusher's about, I think he's 6'1". And he's a goalkeeper as well, so...
So it's kind of like Rodney and Delboy.
Yeah, Rodney and Delboy, that's exactly what it's like. They'd be a good combo for me to kind of bring positivity to the camp, along with Lampard being tall. I feel like he'd be a good banter as well. So yeah, my three picks are straight out the door. Lampard, Bisto, Bob, and Rusher. I take Bisto, Bob, and Rusher as a pair, by the way. They're both fantastic. Pick number 4. Pick number 4 is you. 100%. There's going to be nights on that desert island where you are going to make me cry laughing. And I'm going to need that. I'm going to need that to survive. And I don't feel like I don't even know anyone else is going to be able to hand that to me. You're going to say something stupid or something funny, or tell me some mad story. It's going to have me crying. Now, bear in mind, you know, I'll be dehydrated probably from crying and laughing so much, but at the same time, I feel like you'd be really good banter, and you'd make it memorable. Let's say if it was the last trip, you'd actually make it fun and worthwhile. Do you know what I mean, Jenny? I feel like you'd be the one guy that you need to have in there. 100%. So you're my pick number 4.
The guy that burns the SOS on the wrong side.
Yeah, you burn the SOS, but like, fuck it, Jenny did it, man. It's go crack anyways. We gotta laugh over, you know what I mean? But remember that. And let me see, pick number 5. Oh man. Oh, it's tough. Pick number 5.
I had in my head Irish Achilles, but then I thought, no, because the cunt will start fucking using all the wood to try and make a nice setup to put it on Instagram. I was like, fuck that.
He knows how to kayak, to be fair to me. Maybe he can build a kayak now to get us out of the desert island.
He can, never know.
Yeah, but no, Achilles is a good one. Man, who am I picking? Who's my 5th? Who the fuck is my 5th? I feel like my picks are just banter, like. You've tactically done yours. Fuck. Who's 5th? I feel like nobody I picked would have annoyed me. Me being annoyed is number 1 on my list as well. And I know none of you would have.
I was going, like, I had a few selections like that I was thinking about, like the likes of like Jake McBoss I was going to bring, but then I thought, no, fuck that, because if he makes one of them jokes in front of the Aborigines, we're fucked.
One line in front of the Aborigines, game over, boys. Man's getting an arrow to the jaw. Oh, it's true. As if the boys can understand them anyways, man. Yeah, no, fuck that. Who's my 5th, man? I don't know what route I want to go down. I really don't. 5th for me is mad difficult. And I know there's probably somebody obvious that I'm forgetting about.
You know what the worst thing is? What? We have no females. So even if how are we supposed to reproduce?
Man, it's a desert island, Jenny. Do you need sex that much, lad? We're only going to be there for 5 months, Jenny. For fuck's sake, man. There's a chance of us getting out of the fucking place. You're thinking about riding. Will you calm down, will you? Jesus Christ, man.
I'm just saying, listen. It's not just that, but we can also marry her off to the Aborigines to give us a ball.
That's all, man. Marry off somebody to the Aborigines there to get a fucking boat.
To get a boat so we can go the fuck home.
This lad.
Come back for her, like, you know.
I swear to God. Oh my God. Right, I gotta think of 5th. I gotta throw it out there. My 5th pick is gonna be. Who's my 5th? Who the fuck is my 5th? Oh man. Who's my 5th? It's so tough. I feel like I need like.
It could be Craigor, but he'd be fucking wanting the shower built. So.
He'd be in a suit, man. He'd be taking up all the shower space, man. You know what? Like that. Man, my fifth is so hard. I'm sorry I'm taking so long with this, but it's actually so difficult. I want a good fifth. I need somebody that I'm picking for a reason, and I need them to fulfill that reason. But it's like, oh man, the fifth is so difficult for me. I need to think maybe outside of the box. No, actually, I can't think outside of the box. Fifth. Right. You know what? Fuck it. Fifth is gonna be Jamie J. Carr. I just feel like Jamie would fit in well with the banter, and Jamie's like, I don't know, man. I feel like Jamie would think outside of the box with some stuff. I feel like if you're on a desert island, Jamie might be the one who finds a way out or finds something. Do you know what I mean? He's very smart. He's very creative. Yeah. No. He's a creative thinker. I feel like Jamie would bring something to the table that you wouldn't expect. I feel like Jamie's a dark horse, but I'd say Jamie J. Carr. Jamie J would be my fifth. So to summarize,
that's what I was saying about Jamie. You can break him down to certain parts. So I don't
know if I do that. I'd be like, give us one of your leg. We'll use the other for firewood. I won't be that now. I'll be doing that now. I know that's yours, but
I'll buy him a platinum one when we get back, like, you know.
Trade off the night to the Aborigines. Say, this is technology now.
Yeah, technology. Here you go. Look, a leg.
There you go. But yeah, I know. So my five is King Lampard, Bisto Bob, it's Rusher, yourself, Jamie J. Carr. 5 lads going into Desert Island with a bit of banter, a bit of crack, and it'd be an experience. I
wonder if we'd survive.
No, we fucking wouldn't. Not at all, man. Not at all.
I think I'd say I'd last about a fortnight tops.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even eat meat, so like realistically, if I'm trying to get plants and stuff on a desert island, I'm pretty fucked. Cause
I definitely not. You see, I wouldn't go out like as in like I'd be a fighter and all, like, you know, but I'd be out like, you know, washing myself out in the ocean, you know, and you know, cut myself off an old fucking piece of stone underneath, you know, on the base of the water, like. And, you know, I'm there scrubbing myself, you know, happy with life, you know, like fucking Tom Hanks and Castaway, yeah?
Yeah.
And next thing you know, fucking all you see is fucking Jaws come by and snap. There's me gone. All that's left is a leg, and the first man out in the water, Jamie. Give me that leg there.
Jamie, the first one out to claim it. Dibs, boys, dibs. Bagsies, boys, Bagsy.
Bagsy, my leg now, you cunt.
That is gas. But we love Jamie J. Carr. He's an absolute fucking legend. One of the best content creators in the scene by a mile. But listen, those are our picks, Jenny. Honestly, it was a banging podcast. I hope anybody listening in or even watching has had fun listening into the antics. I definitely feel like we should bring in more fun topics like this. It definitely makes for a fun experience. Of course, the Jenny stories, my stories, and kind of everything in between. Jenny, ending statements about the podcast today and about the topics we have chatted about.
Okay, ending statements. Greenwood's a scumbag. Hope he gets life. Team of the year was rigged. Salah should have been the first person on the list. Happy overall with our all-time 11s, even if the chat didn't agree with Kyle Walker. I'll happily accept that. If we ever actually do get trapped in a desert island, there'll be no more Irish content for a couple of years.
No, there won't.
And I appreciate everyone for coming in and taking their time to listen to us and listening to our embarrassing stories and what we'd like to do when we have these powers and so on and so forth. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Honestly, it's been 1 month exactly since we started this podcast. This is our 4th episode. Of course, the 4 weeks in. Hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. It's been a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot more fun questions and a lot more fun things going forward. So do me a favor, if you're not already, go on to Howya Podcast over on Twitter. Every Monday or Tuesday, we have a tweet out where you guys decide what we chat about. So make sure to get involved over there as well. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate your support. He's been IrishGenesis. I've been TheGaraShow. Thank you so much for listening and watching, guys. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Have a good one, guys. Good luck.